After the Justice Department made millions of unredacted records.
Anyways, more on Epstein unredacted files.
Unredacted about convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, available for certain members of Congress to view today. Here's what Representatives Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna said they saw just moments ago. Take a listen.
What I saw that bothered me were the names of at least 6 men that have been redacted that are likely incriminated by their inclusion in these files.
Our bigger concern is that there's still a lot that's redacted, even in what we're seeing.
Here now joining us, Democratic Congressman Jared Moskowitz of Florida.
FML, when they're showing me unredacted files, but they're still redacted.
He serves on the House Judiciary Committee. So, Congressman, you got a look at some of these files today. Now, the Epstein Files Transparency Act only allowed the Justice Department to withhold the personal information of the victims, the survivors, and material that would jeopardize active federal investigations. Did the redactions that you saw comply with the law? And tell us what you saw that concerned you.
Well, thanks, Jake. Thanks for having me. First, let me say, obviously, we're all hoping for Savannah's mom's speedy return to her family. So first of all, you go into the Department of Justice today, you go to the 10th floor of a building, there's nobody who works on that floor. You go into a room with 4 computers. The system that they set up for us to view these documents has a 24-page handbook on how to use it. There's 2.7 million documents that you have to go through. There's no way to go through them unless you know what you're looking for by batch number. Try to match up the redacted document and look for it in an unredacted capacity. But first, let me say that today.
This is the classic, like, oh, you want to take on this case, lawyer man? And then they come with like a massive truck filled with files. And they give you, they bury you in information.
I saw a worldwide sex trafficking ring.
Oh, you want to sue, I don't know, Amazon? Here's 5 trucks worth of paper, out of which 98% is unusable for this particular case. Oh, you don't have enough money for an army of lawyers? Too bad, brokey.
With people in other countries.
It's called papering? Is that an actual term? Papering, holy shit. It happens so often it has a term of its own.
Sourcing young
I didn't even know that. I love learning more from chat.
Children for Jeffrey Epstein, co-conspirators' names, men and women. Clearly other people that might be on the client list that are on text messages and emails. Over-redaction, dramatic over-redaction. It looks like intentionally so. And then documents that are still redacted. And when we asked why these were redacted, that's because they were submitted into this electronic system redacted. And the people that were at our disposal to ask those questions did not know why they were still redacted, Jake.
Could you identify any of the names of individuals who are mentioned in the files that concern you? And if you're afraid of doing it with me now because of fear of lawsuit, there is the speech and debate clause of the Constitution. Obviously, you could go to the floor of the House and you could say it and not be sued. Can you tell us anybody?
Well, Jake, we have Pam Bondi coming to the Judiciary Committee hearing on Wednesday, as you mentioned. It's the first time she's coming to the Judiciary hearing. She's the only cabinet secretary yet to appear in the House on the Committee of Jurisdiction. And I think we're going to give her the opportunity to start naming people. I think that's what Thomas Massey and Ro Khanna have talked about. Obviously, these names need to come out. I think the DOJ needs to release an unredacted version of these documents while still hoping.
Man, after 35 years since the dissolution of the USSR, the Yakubians made a cabal of pedophiles that control the world. Worst possible timeline. One could argue funniest timeline. I can imagine a slightly worse timeline. This one's the funny timeline. We're not in the best timeline. We're not in the worst timeline. We're in the most absurd timeline. Especially because we get to talk about it now, you know, in this 30+ thousand people strong community on the internet and be like, what the fuck, bro? This is the weasel timeline. is the funniest timeline because it's like, okay, like the electrical materialist analysis stands, but on steroids. Is there a tiny group of people that control everything, that turn a system against its very creators, the working masses? Sure, yes. But let's also add to the script, the bad guy descriptor, that they also like fucking little kids. That's why it's that's not funny, of course. Pedophilia is not funny. But as a timeline script, it's fucking hilarious because it's like slapstick humor. It's slapstick humor. We live in the slapstick dimension. Slapstick timeline. What can you imagine? Like what can be like the worst thing that we attach to the worst people on planet Earth that will somehow make them even worse than what they are? Kid fucking. We'll add kid fucking. It's almost as, if you believe in God, it's almost as if God is like, are you guys going to do something about this? Like, are you going to do something about this system? He's talking to his angels, and they're like, dude, they're not doing anything. And he's like, okay, fuck it. Like, release information that all of the most powerful people in the world, not all of them, of course, but probably, also like fucking children. And they add it to the script, and all of us are still like, yeah, that's kind of bad.
Still keeping the victims' names secure, but there are clearly co-conspirators in here that they can name. Okay, I mean, in the documents I saw, we got pictures and their names.
Oh, and possibly eating them. Yeah, he's saving that for the next drop. The next Planet Earth lore drop will be them eating them. Now we only have insinuations. But the next DLC is going to be insane. Wrath of the Lich King after Burning Crusade? No, bro. Baby eating DLC. The most unhinged excesses of the most unhinged positivists are absolutely validated. Yeah. The cannibal update. Earth 1.02. Oh, yeah. The elites also like eating you. They don't only like eating your standards. They like eating you and your kids. And then we still don't do anything about it. And that we're just like, God just spawns a meteor coming closer to the planet. And we're like, what the fuck? We're all about to die. And then we just hear God's voice. Whatever entity, like alien that created us. Like echoes in the minds of billions. In thousands of languages. Adapted to billions of different mentalities. And it just says, guys, like, I gave up. I'm giving up on you fuckers. You are being led by cannibal pedophile billionaires, and you're still not doing anything about this. I'm restarting the game. Okay? We are retconning the lore. We are retconning the lore by just killing all of you. I'm gonna make another planet, but I'm gonna make sure the cats become sentient, not the monkeys. I'm redoing all of this, but it's going to be the felines. Great Flood 2.0. I mean, if the Great Flood happened last time, according to the Bible, because everybody abandoned God, abandoned morality, abandoned ethics, and just gave themselves to pure, unadulterated degeneracy, I can absolutely see a new flood coming because that's what's happening right now. The people in control of your economy, the people in control of your state, the people steering most of the Western world, but not only the Western world, are straight out of the Great Flood 1.0 era. So maybe we get the DLC is just going to be called Great Flood 2.0, the Meteor. 120 Days of Sodom era. We're there, bro. We're there. It's just even worse in capitalism because normal people don't get to afford the sodomy. God just floods everything except Cuba. Just lets the Cubans go. Are we buffering? Am I being censored for China maxing? Speaking too much truth to the pedophiles. Hugo, are you a posadist? I'm becoming one. I am absolutely becoming one. But the bad people have mega yachts. That's why we're doing it with a meteor. Meteori. Do you hear about Cuba could possibly fall because of the oil issue? Yes. I'm a pasta spiritually Italian. Yes, indeed. What is there left to say, chat? And when there's very little left to say, one says, we shouldn't say much and we should instead just go gamble in an ethical way on Twitch. Reach this number, so let's do it. Let's not think about the impending lore update being prepared to us by our Lord and Savior or some alien species. Instead, let's make that wheel spin, baby. A man only wishes for so little. And if somebody's crazy enough and actually does 60 gifts, we could spin on the 60. We could spin on the 60, bro. It's dry February. I would pour myself some fucking Jaggermeister right now, but I can't. It's dry February. It doesn't apply to Gamba, though. So do something crazy. And let's spin. You know what to do. Pay your taxes, oil me up.
We're talking about sourcing girls. There's people in Paris. There's people in Russia. There's people in Czech. Sourcing girls for Jeffrey Epstein.
No mention of Israel.
And then other
No mention of Israel.
people talking about these girls being sent to them. They refer to them as, we're dropping the child off. I mean, it's really gross, Jake, on how these people are talking about this stuff in text message and email. I think the American people need to see it and understand that this is a worldwide network that Jeffrey Epstein was running.
Today, Ghislaine...
There we go. Somebody wants to Gamba. Thank you, Dark Fair, very much for the sub. Thank you very much.
In fealty of the God Emperor, our undying Lord, and by the grace of the Golden Throne, I hereby sign the death warrant of an entire world and consign 1 million souls to oblivion.
You know what? Fuck it. I want the Empire of Man, but with class consciousness. You guys can't build your class consciousness because you're being ripped off by capitalism? Okay, we're not going to do that pitch anymore. We're going to do the reactionary pitch. Pure tribalism, us versus them. It's us versus pedophiles. That's the group, okay? It's us versus pedophiles. That's going to be the whole pitch. I'm not going to talk about the economy anymore. I'm not going to talk about labor surplus value extraction or any of that fucking nerd shit. It's just going to be like anti-pedophilia action. Just anti-pedophilia action. Because it can completely work with the Marxist cause. Because 100% of all billionaires are pedophiles. So we would just, we would win. And because we don't want more pedophiles to be spawned, we will understand that a world which allows for billionaires to exist is a world that allows for pedophiles to exist. It's literally an economic system which stimulates pedophilia. Therefore, as anti-pedophiles, we must be anti-capitalists. To be anti-pedophile and not anti-capitalist is to be Anti-lung cancer, but pro-smoking. The Ugopnik doctrine. I have invented it now. This is the new thesis. Okay, this is new theory dropping right now. Dehumanize the easiest group on planet Earth to dehumanize, pedophiles, link them with material wealth, profit, exterminatus.
Entire world.
Thank you, Mortal Nightwolf, Exterminatus 2026. Thank you, Nando Tecus, because Hugo needs another mask. Thank you, I always do. Thank you for your subscriptions. Let's fucking go. Paint chat purple. Come on, I want that shit purple. I want you to do Exterminatus on my sub count.
And consign a million.
Anti-pedo plus pro-capitalism liberal Zionist.
Hereby sign the death warrant of an entire world and consign 1 million souls to oblivion. Make imperial justice account in all balance. The Emperor protects.
Ironically, great idea. We create like a religious, create religious undertones around the, pedophilia shit. Like, oh my God, we must protect our way of life and our children, literally. What the fuck music plays?
Maxwell's attorney said she's prepared to speak fully.
Liberation theology. Liberate all pedophiles from life theology. Which we do not support or stand for. Violence against anybody is bad. On Twitch.
And honestly, she
And in real life. Don't ban me.
took the fifth with the House Oversight Committee earlier. But she said she'll speak fully and honestly, but only if given clemency by President Trump. And her attorney, essentially at the same time, was saying, hey, Ghislaine Maxwell is the only person who could clear President Trump and President Clinton and say they're innocent of wrongdoing. Some people might see that as a quid pro quo. What was your reaction?
Yeah, we're just literally illegal. I'm not a lawyer, but you can't, a witness is no longer a witness when they say, yo, please buy my testimony, bro. Polisa, give testimony, Polisa. Can I has chicken wings in prison?
Reaction.
That's exactly what it is, Jake. First of all, why was she moved from the
Can I has chicken wing and champagne in prison, and I will say whatever you need to. Yes, that is a legitimate witness right there, bro.
maximum security prison? Why did Todd Blanche move her? I hope we get an answer from Pam Bondi on Wednesday. Nobody seems to know why she was moved. Who directed that? What was that exchange for? By the way, when she talked to Todd Blanche, she didn't claim any Fifth Amendment privilege. And so her right to remain silent. So all of a sudden now, this is another failed, Comer,
Thank you, Ager. Welcome back, baby. Very nice to see you.
hearing that he has where he says Ghislaine Maxwell's coming in to talk and we're going to get the truth, and when we get nothing. She needs to go back to that maximum security prison. There should be no deal for clemency for her to bail anybody out. But at the end of the day, we need to know why she was given this deal, why she was moved, what did she
I
trade
wonder why, bro.
for, and what does the administration know that they're not telling us?
Democratic Congressman Jared Moskowitz of Florida, thanks so much. Always good to have you on.
Joining us now, California Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna sits on the House Oversight Committee, sat in on the Maxwell testimony, and viewed some of the unredacted files today. So, Congressman, what are your biggest takeaways after viewing some of those unredacted documents?
Well, always incredible Yakubian design on this guy. This journalist. Always. Every single time. Incredible.
That too much of it was still redacted. Anderson, you'll remember that in March, the FBI had 1,000 personnel going through these files. Donald Trump had ordered them to go through the files, and they made many redactions. And it looks like what happened is those files were redacted then, and then they sent them over to Justice, and Justice kept those redactions. Well, the FBI works for Pam Bondi, and they need to unscrub the redactions that the FBI made to comply with the Epstein Transparency Act.
So even
They are papering the entire globe to protect child accosting billionaires.
Files you saw were redacted.
Now I'm gonna be very toxic and use the word papering like crazy. Thank you, chat. You've made me even more toxic, bruv.
I'd say 70 to 80% of them were redacted. The main 302 statements where survivors talked about who raped them, all of that was still redacted. Now, we did find information about some excessive redactions where there were 6 men in the 2 hours we reviewed who should not have been redacted, and I do hope the Justice Department makes that public. Some of the most sensational emails, frankly, some of the redactions may have been legitimate because some of them were from women, some of them may have been survivors. But the broader theme is that a lot of this was redacted back in March before we passed the law. And
Okay, we already covered this.